How y'all feeling? I get my shit together. Huh? Well, let me get my shit together, and I'll be right back to you. Let the incense burn. Yeah. You want a real nigga? Yo, 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 yo. The stream about to start. Let me clean him up. Clean him up. Clean him up. He just warmed up. Now bitch. Trophies. Trophies. I told the bitches trophies. Let me get my camera together. Almost there. Yo, I think we made it. Let me get my shit together. Let me get my issue together. I think we made it. Trophy, 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 trophy. I think we made it. Hey, hey. I think we made it, y'all. Podcast, vlog, whatever the you call this. I don't know, but I know you worth more that you now on this show. See, I may not know everything, but when you come with me, you will now worth more, not worth less. See, a lot of people want to make you worth less. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, 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 wow. I'm a Don. I did the hard work. And I tell y'all, when I say I did the hard work, man, I did the hard work, the cost to be the boss. Suckers can't join. You are now with King Cleavon Worth More because me and my fabulous mob stars are worth a lot more than what y'all thought we was worth. See, when the stream starts, the stream don't stop. That means we're gonna keep it streaming for y'all. And what we streaming? Positivity, greatness, a little bit of this abundant confidence and energy that I have at my disposal. I'm here to bring it to you guys. Let you know the real entertainment, because that's what we're here for, entertainment purposes. And give you different enlightenment, give you different understanding. See, today is November 2nd, 2025. We just got through Halloween. That was just on Friday, so it's Sunday. Just got through Halloween. Also, this last month, there's been a lot of chaos that's happened, from Charlie Kirk to some great musicians passing, Angie Stone along with D'Angelo, and there's been a lot of spiritual things going on within the world. And for my worth more people and people that want to be worth more, we're going to go over some of those things and see kind of what's really going on in the world and kind of how we can best navigate what actually is going on in the world, and how, there are powers that be, but you guys are the ultimate power. And I want to make sure that you guys understand that you guys know that, and that you guys are aware of that. Today, I don't know where to start. To be totally honest, I mean, I don't podcast or stream much, but this is something that I do plan on doing more. But the reality is that the world's in a freaking mess right now. It's in a chaotic frenzy, especially these politicians, in which they continue to argue, go over foul things, and just bite and argue with each other. And it's really no recourse to resolve. And it's as if they are looking to create more problems that are not already there and not ever tackle the real problem. So, one thing that kind of happened this week was the snap. So let's take a look as far as what people's conversation is when it comes to the food and SNAP benefits, and how the people have been affected. So let me just go to that. Give me one moment. Listening to Southside Beats before we got on the line. All right. So as y'all see, all right. All right. So as y'all see me pulling up this information 42 million to lose food assistance as Trump refuses to tap emergency SNAP funds. However, those funds were tapped throughout the process. Trump did do some order to release emergency
I would say it's
funds.
like having another
Let's
producer
go
in the
over
room that
that.
knows exactly what your song needs. This is co-producer. The fastest way to
Make no mistake, this is going to hurt Minnesotans. Everything is more
And I'm
expensive
from
these
Minnesota.
days, especially food.
Well, in less than 12 hours, food benefits for more than 400,000 Minnesotans will stop. That's unless the
Minnesota
government
only has
shutdown
about-
ends by then. But
Minnesota only has about a little bit over a million people as far as in the Twin Cities area. I remember growing up about 586,000. Well, I say that's such an exact number. About 586,000 for St. Paul, and Minneapolis is about 600 something thousand. So very, very similar amount.
that's not likely. Both parties, they continue to play politics, blaming each other for what's happening.
This is exact as far as how these two parties are blaming each other. And the reality is you both are to blame and you both are accountable, but somehow, some way, the lack of accountability for these grown ass adults that act as if they are grown adults when they are truly children is disgusting. Let's go out.
Our Mike Manzoni is following the latest for us tonight. He's in our newsroom. And Mike, we've got two federal judges that issued some major rulings on SNAP benefits this afternoon. Lay it out for us, if you would.
Tim, this is a loss for the Trump administration and a big win for Minnesota, one of the states that sued over this. The judges ordered the administration to use billions of dollars in reserve funds to keep the SNAP program running. But these rulings don't fix everything. There are still some questions. One judge acknowledged that some people might end up getting less money and pointed out that benefits could be delayed. The food group in New Hope says it's racing to get food to everyone who needs it, but it fears it may run out if the shutdown drags on. Catholic Charities Twin Cities in St. Paul says it's seen an uptick in demand in recent days at its kitchen there. It says if something doesn't change soon, it may have to start turning people away. St. Paul educators spoke this morning about the impact a lapse in food benefits will have on children.
Hunger affects more than the body. It affects focus, attendance, behavior, and emotional well-being in the classroom.
Just like kids can't do homework without a home, they can't be expected to show up to learn without food to eat on nights and weekends.
And again, two federal judges today saying the Trump administration must use emergency funds to pay for SNAP benefits during the shutdown. It's unclear whether the administration will appeal those rulings, though that's certainly a possibility. In the newsroom, Mike Manzoni, Fox 9.
Before you go here, quick question, because we're getting a lot of questions about WIC benefits for baby formula. Some people are asking if the shutdown will actually impact that program. What do you know?
Well, we know that WIC is not impacted, at least not for now. The state says it has enough money to keep that program running through the end of next month if the shutdown were to continue through November, Tim.
All right, some good news there. Thanks, Mike.
Oops. Y'all know my boy Bobby. I get
never sue the other.
So as y'all seen, there is a recourse for the politicians to fight with the president so that the people lose. Time out. This is what we call warfare. It's modern day warfare to the people so that you guys, including supposed myself, but I'm not in that group, that you guys succumb to whatever is about to happen. Now, we've been hearing for some time as far as these aliens in the sky, along with, these drones and all of this stuff happening within this past summer. And this puts into perspective, the mark of the beast. I know we know about the end times and we heard about them for so long, but this puts in that factor that the mark of the beast is coming. The reason why I say that is with the government forcing people's hand physically, food-wise, financially, job-wise, it creates this void. And we know what this void is. And that's why we see our women continue to speak out and talk about the disparity of women's rights and, you know, what women truly want to do within this world. What I will say to that is that there are more women in this world right now than men. So women's voice openly is louder than men's voice in most aspects, because there are more women than men in the situations. And what women have to understand is the government, along with other societies, have continued to try to use fear tactics. Just the thought of something possibly happening that never happens. Now think about it, women. How often since you were born did the government say something like this was going to happen, or something bad like this was going to happen, and you reacted, had a conversation, gave energy to it, posted about it, wrote on Facebook about it, thought about it, spoke to your coworkers about it, and it never happened? That is called a fear tactic, ladies. They have been fearing you into oblivion. And I would like you guys to understand what's being thought out and brought out with these fear tactics, because the reality is the world is not going to end. Let's start there. The world's not going to end. It's just going to keep getting stronger and better. However, they continue to weaken your soul and soul vessel by making you acclimated to look as only as a sexual object, when you are a being. Also, you are a being. Now, what I want to say as far as with these SNAP benefits, that was a direct attack on ladies. Women, you are the one going to the grocery store typically, unless you are single like myself, in which, again, I'm going to go to the grocery store and get what I need. But typically, women control the overflow and the flow of service when it comes to the store and the grocery store and food. You know, women are in charge of our diets. And I think that as Americans, we definitely fucked up and slowed down as far as what we're eating and eating these unhealthy products. However, y'all seen the gas. I mean, y'all seen the food prices been going up for the last 2 to 3 months. So with the prices going up, them taking away the benefits that they promised you, the contractual benefits that they promised you. And this is what we keep saying about this this we don't even call them the cracker entity. That's what I'm going to call them, the cracker entity. They never hold agreements. They never hold agreements. And then they say, we're the Indian givers. No, we're the Indian takers. So contractually, ladies, they had an obligation to make sure that you were fed along with your children. And they made you go through hoops, bounds, hurdles, all of this thing, creating all of this pressure, just really to take advantage of your trust, meaning not your physical trust, but the trust that is in your name under this corporation called the United States of America. And when they say, you know, education is important, they're not talking about, and us men, when we're saying education is important, we're not talking about just going to school and reading the books that are in there. We're talking about the education of our people, the constitutional rights, and the things that are necessary to help us as a nation move forward in the right direction. See, with these benefits gone, I hope that our women and our men realize that we are all we got. WorthMore people, we are all we got. Sex, creed, color, we are all we have. No last stand will be for us besides us. And until we start to figure that out, we will continue to be in a disparaging place. However, this quite significant change should give a thought process that possibly we never thought about before, which is us utilizing our resources and creating all of the tangible assets necessary to build the infrastructure that we truly desire and we want for the next 30 plus years. See, a lot of the times with our people, we're only thinking very short term. We were taught to think in survival mode. But you got to hurry up and do this. You got to get this done. You got to do this. No, no, no. Be still and know that ye are God. Psalms 46:10. That is a Bible scripture that tells you, be still. Let the thought create your environment. Right now, our people are not sitting back and letting the thought create the environment that we want. We are reacting to an environment that we don't approve of, which is only going to get more reaction. There is action first, and that will create the overflow that we're looking for. And this action right here should justify why our people need to be more focused on our solutions, less focused on anything these random alien outsider people are talking about. They are not us. They are not us. And I mean that cold-heartedly. Now, let's get to the next thing to talk about as far as what's going on in the world and what I saw and all of this stuff. You know, like I said, the SNAP benefits is a very huge thing. And I want our women to really understand that once we start making the decision to do what we want to do, you guys are going to benefit so much, so big of a benefit. You've never seen the grandeur of what you will have as a queen and goddess on our realm here in what they call United States, but we call Mother Earth. You women do not understand how grand the glory it will be and how we will keep all of these suckers in line for our community, because they don't have a community. There's no such thing as a white community. I'm just saying, all they do is bicker and complain about the only things that they created or really stole. And what the fuck is that? If you're going to argue and bicker about something you stole, you show that you don't deserve what is ours. So again, ladies, I'm speaking directly to you. The SNAP benefits was a direct attack on you, a direct attack so that you are not able to feed your families, which is our young kings and queens. Who do you think they want to hurt? We've been telling you for so long. They want us gone. Why? Because they remnants of greatness bleeds through us and they can't stand it. I don't give a fuck no more. I'm not here to dilute myself for a watered down version of what my world in reality is. Now, let's go over to what I saw as far as 3i Atlas. You know, I know you guys say things about aliens and, you know, you say aliens ain't real and all of this stuff, but shit, they got proof though. They got proof. Something's coming. Something's coming. Something is coming. Something's coming and it's coming soon. And it's called 3i Atlas. See, we thought AI was something, but what is 3i Atlas? Let's look it up. I'm trying to find a short snippet on 3i Atlas. All right, 3i Atlas. Let's go to the short. Uh-oh. Y'all see that? What the fuck? Looks like an eye. Like you see right here, like, then it's shining like gold around you, like diamonds. Boy, that bitch shining. And it's glowing. Like, is that just the speed behind it? Like, y'all see that? Like, and then you see like it has like a force field or something around it. Like, where it's bigger than what it is. It kind of got like a top. Yeah. So 3-Eye Atlas. What is 3-Eye Atlas? Let's see. I don't know. I don't know nothing about 3-Eye Atlas and what the hell it is and what it's supposed to be. What is it doing? Let's talk.
Whoa, man, amazing car. When did you become a millionaire?
What is this for?
We're trying to get advice
Worry
for the
about
younger
the million.
generation.
3-Eye Atlas, the interstellar object, recently passed very close to the sun.
Okay.
And what it did during this time has completely stunned astronomers. Scientists have once again detected strange activity, and most importantly, 3-Eye Atlas has finally shown signs of non-gravitational acceleration. But there's a problem. One of the new images comes from NASA's Punch satellite constellation, captured on 27th October 2025, when 3-Eye Atlas was near its closest point to the sun, known as perihelion. Other observatories, including Stereo or Solar Terrestrial Relations Observatory and the Solar and Heliospheric Observatory, have also shared new images that left scientists stunned. According to the data, just before reaching perihelion, 3-Eye Atlas suddenly began brightening at an unexpected rate. Its brightness increased roughly in proportion to the sun's distance raised to the power of -7.5. In simple terms, as the object got closer to the sun, it became far brighter than what scientists would normally expect based on its distance alone. Such an extreme brightening has never been observed in any comet within our solar system before. This rapid increase in brightness could mean one of two things. The comet might be releasing large amounts of gas and dust, showing unusually strong activity, or it could have a very unusual chemical composition that reacts intensely to solar heat. Some scientists pointed out that 3-Eye Atlas had shown this same strange behavior earlier, when it was approaching Mars. Back then, it suddenly became brighter just as it neared the planet. Now, it's doing it again, showing a sharp and unexpected increase in brightness just before passing its closest point to the sun. Scientists say this repeating pattern is really unusual and puzzling. But wait. The most exciting discovery about 3-Eye Atlas is that scientists have now found clear signs it's not moving exactly as gravity predicts. In simple terms, besides the pull of the sun's gravity, something else seems to be giving it a tiny but measurable push. This effect is known as non-gravitational acceleration, and it has caught the attention of astronomers around the world. According to Davide Farnacchia, a navigation engineer at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, new data shows that when 3-Eye Atlas passed very close to the sun, it appeared to be accelerating slightly faster than expected.
That thing moving
the extra push is extremely small, roughly between 3 times 10 to the -14th and 2 times 10 to the -10th astronomical units per day squared, yet it's still large enough to matter in precise orbital calculations. Scientists say the exact cause of this non-gravitational acceleration is still not fully understood. The most likely explanation is outgassing, a process where the sun's heat causes ices trapped inside a comet to vaporize and release gas. These escaping gases act like tiny thrusters, giving the object a small push in the opposite direction.
This is what we got to understand about these people, y'all. They always give a theory on why something is doing something, but they don't never know shit. It's just them fucking talking, and now y'all's used to them giving some fucking excuse that they don't even know what they talking about. They see something in the air, or they see something outer space, inner space, wherever the hell is that now, because we know they be lying. They some lying motherfuckers. Now, if it's going in space against the orbit, that means it's moving on its own. It's doing what it wants to do. And it's a ship, obviously. It ain't a comet, because it's moving towards us in a specific route. Now, we've all heard about the mothership is coming. The mothership, the mothership, the mothership. The mothership is coming. And white people, instead of being honest, of hearing the stories and tales that you heard previously, you want to blame it on some science that you created. Brother, you're not in outer space. You don't see gas breaking away from air, doing any of the shit you just explained in this visual to make me think you know what you talking about. You don't. So shut the fuck up and just say there's something moving in space. Don't know what it is. Don't
However,
know how it's coming.
researchers are still waiting for direct confirmation of what's really causing the effect. Once 3I Atlas becomes visible again after passing behind the sun, scientists will be able to measure both the strength and direction of this acceleration more accurately.
So they're talking out their ass. Do you hear that? Talking out their ass, making speculations as if they are true before any realization happens. This is cracker science. This is not real. They are just talking, throwing you off this way so that they can take the resources from under you and say, hey, I told you about this, but I'm not going to tell you about this interstellar stuff. So let's go to some people that understand what's going on. Some brothers and sisters. He's going to be talking long. I'm not looking for a long conversation. I'm looking for my boy. Where's he at? Where is my boy? I can't get B-Dale. B-Dale. Where you at? My boy B-Dale at? Yeah. I'm saying, man, y'all know who B-Dale is, man. Stop playing like y'all know what no B-Dale is, man. Now let's listen to
What if your
dog.
inbox sorted itself, drafted
I
your
listen to
reply,
dog
and
'cause he
flagged
got
urgent emails
very
before
good
you
knowledge.
even woke up?
He
You
breaks
know
it
that
down
dream
in
life you see online where they log off at 3
information
p.m.,
way.
hit the gym,
I
travel,
don't use
and their
the
inbox
wordplay
still
that he
handles
uses
itself?
a lot of the
It's
time,
real.
but I
But
do
here's the
understand what
secret.
he's
It
saying.
doesn't happen by working faster. It
And
happens by
reality
delegating
is
your busy
very
work to
intelligent.
AI.
He
Most
likes
people
to use the
struggle with
words
what's
he
called
likes to use,
inbox inertia.
but the
That mental
reality is the
block hit
reality
when
needs to
faced
be
with a
directly
screen full of
so
unread emails.
let's
The
get
energy to
that.
even start is
My
exhausting.
boy,
What do we draw from all that, kids?
As you can see, they moving funny, right?
What if your inbox sorted itself, drafted your
I told
replies,
you they
and
moving
flagged
funny.
urgent
When a
emails
nigga
before
moving
you
funny,
even
you
woke
gotta
up?
watch
You know
it.
that dream life you see online where
As you can see, they out here moving funny.
Between faiths, and today's visit is a moment in history for the Christian church and a key connection for the future.
I want to head over to Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt right now, where President Trump and leaders from around the world participated in that peace signing ceremony you saw earlier. Our Keir Simmons is there tonight. Keir, great to have you as well. So many leaders traveled to Egypt for this moment. How optimistic did it feel, did it sound like the rest of the world is that this truce brokered by President Trump will hold?
Well, I think there was real optimism here, Tom, and also a real sense of relief. Like in so many places, many of the neighbors of Israel, Arab states, have felt that their much needed security, stability was being shaken by what was happening in Gaza. There was also, of course, a profound sense of understanding for the Palestinian people amongst many of the leaders of the countries that surround Israel. So there was all of that. And then I think there was also this sense of the power of the American presidency and the way President Trump utilizes it to get things done. An extraordinary moment, Tom. The Chancellor of Germany waiting for hours for President Trump to arrive arrive, walked over and stood and watched President Trump speaking in the Knesset on NBC News monitors on our live feed. That was something I'd never experienced before. And then after the meeting with the signing of the peace plan, as it's called by the Trump administration, then...
Now, guys, when y'all keep hearing peace, 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 when there been war for so long, like, well, when has America ever, like, really stood on peace? You got to ask the questions. Whose peace, my nigga? Because we ain't had peace in about 600 years. So who's having peace and who's making agreements amongst each other? You see these guys, see them. They all look like they could be family members or related. These all people look like they can be related. Peace amongst those families to go against the gods. Let me continue.
The Italian Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, came out, and I asked her about just that question, about how sustainable this idea of this peace plan really is, how likely it is in practice to work.
Quantum world at the same time. That's what's taking place. That is when you're talking about the pillar of severity and mercy. That is what you're talking about when you're talking about chaos and order. That is when you're talking about the crook and flail and ancient Kemetic spirituality, which is also a representation of judgment through a great purification period, through balancement. Everything has to go through a restoration period, which is the supplication process. So now, they said astrophysics says there are now 1 to 2 Starlink satellites falling back to Earth every single day. So like I said, the satellite is teleconnected to the moon. The moon is teleconnected to Saturn, because Saturn is basically like, you know, the PS5. And then the moon is basically like the TV. And then all the electrical cords is basically like the satellites that is teleconnected to Saturn and the moon. So when you have the manipulation process of the satellites, that basically disconnects the game. Right. That disconnects the motherfucking TV. That disconnects the whole PS5. That means that the game is over. So when you have a manipulation process that's taking place within the electrical grid because you got the satellites falling, that eradicates the whole illusion that was connected to the three-dimensional world that makes up people, places, and possessions, right? Right. You know, this is why I said during the time as we transition in the time of November, Scorpio season, right? Scorpio! Because November is when the veil is the thinnest. Yes, you're going to be able to see beyond the illusion. This is why they're telling you about 3-Eye Atlas and all this other crazy stuff, right? Yep. Because we're in that time period. The illusion is starting to break. That is a part of the sleep spell of the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is teleconnected to the moon, to where you're trapped by your dark side because you cannot step into your light, which is the true magnetism that's connected to the magnetosphere, which is the mental plane.
Now, I know he broke it down fast for you slow motherfuckers, but again, this is the mental plane of the magnetosphere. And the veil is being lifted. We are seeing all the true fakeness that is being perceived upon our people, that is being pressed upon our people. And this generation, the Y, millennial generation, is a generation that is asking the right questions and putting the right pressure points and needles into a society that sucks the living blood out of us, literally, in a literal sense. In 3-Eye Atlas, I don't know if it's their alien friends. I don't know if it's our alien friends. I don't know who the fuck it is. But what I do know and what I can tell you is that something about to happen. And you better not take the mark of the beast, because they're trying to take your food away so that they can make sure you become the mark with the beast. Let's keep going.
Which is the abode of the Most High, to where you become a God and you're not looking for no damn God outside of yourself that's teleconnected to the energy of the moon, because all the religions, they work off the Sabbath, right? So that's why everything that's connected to the three-dimensional realm is being used as a catalyst to keep you stuck here. Exactly. So now that you got these satellites basically being eradicated, Now you can step into your God frequency, right? These satellites is basically like, you know, the planet Earth, and they shackled to, you know, they shackled in chains.
Yep.
So the satellites around planet Earth is basically like the chains, basically. So the planet, you know, was in a state of subjugation, in a prison state. But now we're ascending right back into the galactic center due to the magnetism of intelligence that's streaming us back, you know, through the mental plane. So now it says that Earth now has 2 moons. New moon will travel with us until 2083, says NASA. Now, one thing you gotta understand, like I said, the moon is the external hard drive of planet Earth, and it messed up the human circulatory system. And as you have, you know, the frequencies of planet Earth starting to raise up in vibration because of the neutrinos and all these coronal mass ejections that's creating all these plasma vortexes of energy that's pulling you right back into the golden gate of what I call the galactic center. What happens is the planet speeds up in vibration. The moon that they have in our simulation, it starts to get further from Earth. So now this is basically a war tactic, which is a form of frequency modulation. Now they're bringing another moon into the solar system to keep us in a state of control, because the other moon is basically starting to dissipate due to the consciousness being activated by way of the conscious energy grid that's connected to the star Polaris. So like I said, the moon is basically another form of subjugation. They want to subjugate your energy. So like I said, they want to feed off the sustenance, because the moon is what creates the energy of time on the planet, because it corresponds with Saturn. So the more, you know, you see the moon starting to dissipate, that creates time dilation, right? Which creates interface transitions within the matrix and glitches where you have deja vu. You can go certain points on the planet right now because you have the manipulation of these satellites being, you know, stripped down, and they're no longer teleconnected to these electrical grids. What happens is you can go on certain parts of the planet,
go crazy,
like on the 33rd parallel.
All right, all right, be there. They don't know all that shit, nigga. They don't know about the 33rd parallel, and nigga, you're breaking it down too fast for these slow motherfuckers, be there. You gotta understand, they ain't fast like us. They computer skills ain't. So relax, brother. We're gonna come back to you. Star Polaris, electric grid, the sun, the moon, and the black sun. The black sun is here, bitch. That's all y'all need to know. So, as y'all can see, man, this shit is getting real and wicked. This is getting real and wicked. Now, I know we all heard about the mothership, but the return of the mothership. Let's talk about it. They've been
Imagine
talking about
being
it
able
for
to build
years.
anything just by
They've been
thinking
talking
about it.
the return
Meet
of
Base
the
44,
mothership for years.
a complete
when
AI
the
creation
mothership
platform
come,
made for
nigga, we
anyone
better
with
be
an
ready.
idea.
And we better
And
be confessed our sins.
We have taken the
better
last
confess
boat ride
our
for
ways.
fidelity.
God, I'm ready. I'm ready, Lord. Yeah, I ain't sinning.
One thing I want
ain't
to do
been
is a bit of
sinning.
hope, since we understand.
I've been living the life you asked me to live, Lord.
A bit of hope. You got a group of African brothers that is scaring the hell out the white man by the name of the Dogon tribe in what we call the French Sudan, or what we call Mali in West Africa.
Go ahead, Bobby. That's my boy.
And this Dogon tribe is fascinating because they live every day of their lives to bring on this event. Every day of their lives, they don't live 1 minute outside of doing what they're supposed to do.
Exactly.
Unlike most people, we do have some brothers and sisters on the continent, and we have a small group of brothers and sisters here, whether you be one or whether you be 50, that are dedicated to the preservation of the liberation.
Yep.
No, by any means necessary.
By any means necessary.
This Dogon group of brothers are descendants of the ancient Egyptians or the ancient Kemites.
Yeah.
Group of people. I think it's about 10,000. Okay. About 10,000 of these brothers and sisters that have no type of love for any type of Western civilization or any type of modernization in the realms of what the white man calls his materialism. These brothers and sisters, when the Arabs invaded in, let's say, a little after the 6th century, invaded and swept Africa, these brothers and sisters say that we would rather move and go underground just to preserve this knowledge. Also,
Underground Railroad,
these people said that what we would do, being the brilliant people that Africans are, they said, well, we would just go savage or make them think that we savage. So when the Arabs come up on them,
now that is called acting. That is called acting. And I think we should be learning some spiritual guidance from our brothers, Dogon tribe, because
and as a result, they
just want us to work for them and build their societies better than we build our own,
for at
which
least
is
700-800
disgusting.
years. And this knowledge.
My question, now that it just brought up, why do you want to steal a person to build a society that they build on their own to build for you when you haven't built it on your own? You see, we keep coming back to the same rhetoric. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps or pull yourself up by your shoe straps, when we created the shoe straps that you're talking about. So where are your shoe straps, or where is your creation that is so magnificent that we should follow? I've never seen a white man's creation that was good enough for me to want to really follow. It might have been okay, but we all know it was going to break sometime.
On the about the Dogon is the most scientific knowledge, so scientific until the European astronomers and the European scientists say you just did not doubt the Dogon. Everything they do is precise in the mathematics, in the science, and in the knowledge to this day. And to doubt them is to be a fool. But it's one thing about this. Let's go into the science. Number one, you have, let me spell it right. You have the star Sirius. The star Sirius. Now, the star Sirius is the sun behind the sun. Mae Blavatsky, in her book Secret Doctrines, Volume
Black
2,
Sun,
said if we're going to look for heaven, as well as what the Egyptians told them, or the Kemites told them, if we're going to look for heaven, we would have to say that it would be the place that is almost 16 times greater than our sun. Our sun being how many times greater, we estimate, than the earth? 1,000,000 times greater. Now, I don't think it's that much. We burn up around here. And to check that. Anyway, it's called the sun behind the sun. And also, by it becoming or being called the sun behind the sun, what it is that we have a sun.
Yep.
And our sun rotates around Sirius. It takes it 26,000 years to complete that orbit. Now, one thing about this Sirius was known in the ancient world as the great provider. What Sirius would do in the summer solstice months, it would come down, it would rise at the horizon, and it would flood the Nile Valley. The Nile Valley would vegetate Africa, which is the origin of, we would say, the origin of Western civilization, as well as African civilization, and the origin of agriculture. It would cultivate the Nile Valley, they would grow the food, and they would build a civilization based on the magnitude of what we would say, the magnitude of vegetation, or we would say agriculture.
See, and I'm going to go over a part 2 directly because I love what Bobby Hemmett always talks about. And I want to go over this in more detail as far as the mothership. I'm getting short on time. I got some things to go over or go in. But the reality is that the mothership's coming, y'all. And the reality is that we have waited long enough to not benefit off of our work, our beauty, and our glory. And we can no longer depend on a childlike species to act as if they are adults above gods. That's That's the course. That's the recourse. And I know you guys know you are now worth more. So thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Again, I'm going to go over a part 2 with this. I just got some things I got to do today. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy. And suckers can't join. Trophy Nation. Till the next time, you are worth more.